So let's see, how do you guys think about what's our biggest problem in the world of presentations? These are the results. The number is here, slido.com, this is the number. And so I just want to see how you guys think about it. So I give you, even though I know the answer, I just want to feel and I just want to see if we are on the same page. So I'll give you a minute or so. And so the votes are right here. So let's see, we have around 40 people more, by the way, 50 people or something. Let's see, what do you think is the biggest problem in presentation design and what you are sick of seeing? Let's see the results. Because I think I know the answer, somehow. By the way, pro tip for you, this service is called slido.com. Use it for your presentations. Also, it's free. You can ask the audience a lot of things and you can adapt your presentation based on that. Okay, 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds. Obviously, we have a clear winner. Let's see. Okay, 15 more seconds, even though we have a winner. No one can now change the result. And so for the photographers here in the room, please photograph this for me. I'll be happy to show it to my customers also, because I'm trying to make them understand a few things. Okay, let's make it to 50 voters, 46. 46, okay, one last second, yeah. Okay, so, isn't it clear what's the problem? Because for me, and obviously for you guys, it's more than clear what the problem is and what we are all sick of. And so this is what we are going to be fighting against in the next 50 minutes. So, without further ado, I want to switch immediately to a demo. And I first want to show you some bad slides and what I believe are bad slides, and I think what you believe are bad slides. And I want to show you a few good examples. And for those of you who are technical people here, I think I will know that some of you may react, yeah, Bobby, but technical sessions are different. They cannot be designed well. I'm going to show you that that's not true. Unfortunately, it's not true. They can be designed, and every session, every type of information can be designed well, even without us being designers. I'm not a designer. But it just requires a lot of work. It's just not that easy. It's very easy to copy-paste, right? It's very easy. However, that's not how we do it. And then we'll grab one really badly designed slide, and we'll transform them live in front of you by sharing with you all the resources, tips and techniques that you can use immediately after this session for your presentation. So let's go and let me show you what I believe. What I believe are bad slides. And I will ask you to just wanted to hear your opinion. So what you're first going to see is a premium event in Bulgaria. We are not looking at who did these slides. This is a very premium conference in Bulgaria. I just want you to feel and see what people are speaking with. And these are the slides that the presenter used, that whenever the people saw the first few of them, the audience started to leave the conference. So let's see what am I talking about. I'm going to quickly go through them. Just take a look. This is nothing, relax. So, now it becomes interesting. Now it becomes really interesting. And so, this is really interesting for me. This is slide. And so on and so forth. Now, let me show you some other things from the real world. This is a presentation that was led in front of the CEO of a company for a multi-million Azure project. You technical guys know what I'm talking about whenever I say Azure. So take a look at the slides. I removed the name of the company. And so, this is what makes me angry, you know? This is what kills me. And so, this is the world that we live in. right? And I know that you will agree. I can see it in your eyes, right? So, because some of you may say, yeah, but technical sessions are different, they need to be detailed, they need to have that information, they cannot be designed well. I want to show you one of my technical slide decks, and probably one of my most popular ones. I want you to show you the idea behind it. So this is for all of you who are technical, this is 300 to 400 level session. Okay, so this means that it's really deep stuff, it's really complex stuff in the world of SQL Server. Okay, so I want you to take a look at the slides by themselves. So this is without me being a designer, okay? Just want you to scan them quickly, and that's how the slides look like. Okay? Wait, what? This animation. And this is how those technical 400 level session looks like. Okay? That's the idea. Now, obviously, thanks to Microsoft here, so obviously there is a slight difference in that stuff, right? Now the question is, how can we do something like that? How can we change our way of thinking in order to make slides like this, which, oh, by the way, not because I want to point to myself or something, this is a best rated international session. So people understand it, people appreciate that effort as an audience. So after I saw a lot of bad slides, I was inspired to do something which we are going to work on right now. This is the bad slides. I tried to make it very bad, but this is the worst I can do. So these are the slides that we're going to work on. Okay, the subject is not a technical one, and it's not a technical one because in these slides I can show you a lot of things, a lot of tips and tricks and techniques that you can apply. And so these are the slides. Okay, we have bullet points because you have to have bullet points everywhere, right? You have to have an image. By the way, this image has a watermark for some of you who are not seeing it, which is illegal, by the way. Again, we have some bullet points. Why not? It's 1 point, but we have a bullet point. Why not? We have image because, you know, on the web it says you have to have images on your slides. It's very good for your slides. And you're like, okay, I'll place an image. Then you have charts. Of course, charts are important. Charts are very, very important stuff. Of course, you cannot understand anything from that chart, but who cares? It's your fault. It's not my fault as a presenter. Then we have 3D. Of course, because PowerPoint allows you to do 3D, you have to do it. So then we have SmartArt. Then we have, by the way, have you seen that? Have you seen slides which are a combination and a mix of many other slide decks? Like copy-pasted slides for many sessions? Have you seen that one? Yeah? This is an example. I just took another design and just put it in this slide deck because who cares? Why not? And of course, we have thank you at the end. Now, let's try to figure out a way, how can we change this? By starting at the beginning. Because whenever I want to change something, I want to ask you guys to think with me here. So my main goal here is first to figure out a way to visualize what I'm about to say. And so my question to you is, and the question that I want you to ask yourself every single time when you go and begin and design your slides is, okay, on every single slide, you don't go in PowerPoint or Prezi or Keynote or Google Slides or Sway. I don't care which software you use, okay? I want you to go on piece of paper, on the whiteboard, on your note, on your tablet, or what have you. And I want you to sketch it. And when you sketch your ideas, your content, I want you to ask yourself this following question for every single point that you are going to be making. What is the best and most efficient way for me to visualize that idea? You find a way, and that can be a photo, that can be a quote, that can be a piece of code, that can be a table, that can be a video, I don't know. It's your presentation. But let's do that exercise for this slide only, and we'll move on because otherwise we'll not have enough time. whenever I say to you the word presentation design or the word design, what do you associate the word design with? Tell me something. I'm here, I'm with you, listening. Design. Whenever you hear the word design, what do you visualize? Words. What was that? Creativity. Okay, how do you visualize creativity? How do you imagine creativity? Creating something. I'm writing badly, so creating something. Bear with me. What else? Design. How do you associate the word design? Come on, girls. Design. What? What's that? Drawing. Okay. Drawing. You're a graphical designer or website designer, okay. Mock-up. Okay. What else? Design. Organize things. How do you visualize organize things? Notes or? Say it again. Okay, something that's arranged correctly. Okay. Something that's arranged. Ergonomic. Ergonomic. No one's going to say fashion from you. Okay, that's interesting. So you said branding. Okay. No one also saying Apple. That's first time. Okay. What last? Skype? Style. Okay. And colors. Colors and style. Okay. So now the question is, I wanted to do this exercise with you guys because I want you to understand that whenever we talk about design, this is creative stuff, and everyone has an opinion. Everyone has a vision how it will look like. And every one of you, obviously, will go in a different direction whenever he is going to try a design. And so what you're about to see that I figured out and I created is only my opinion, only my view of the things. You guys are going to design it obviously in a different way. But if we take a look at those things, the question now is, okay, I know that I have to visualize that somehow. And I need images, probably. Let's start with images. How can I visualize those words in terms of images? Quick pro tip for you, write that down even though I'm going to send you all of those details and stuff. These are the websites that I personally use for my presentations. These are very high quality, absolutely free images for your site, for your presentations. So, the first one is called Pexels, okay? Because I promised you that I want this to be very practical. The first one is called Pexels. You go to Pexels and you say colors, right? And if you are not on the Wi-Fi, I will be able to find colors. Here are the photos that the website suggests to us for colors. Okay? And you go and download one of those images. Now, my suggestion to you is always be searching for an image that has white space in it. Right? You don't want image that is so full because you don't have where to write on. Right? You have to place a title there. There should be a place for the text. So always be looking for example, like this, there is white space here, right? Always be looking for image that has white space on it. This one, right here, I can write the title up in the upper part, and so on and so on. And you do that thing for every single one of your ideas. Because Pexels, however, may not be enough for you. I will go very practical with you. The other site for absolutely free, 100% very high quality images is called Pixabay. Let me zoom it for all of you who are photo shooting, graphing, etc. Pixabay. Okay? These are the websites that we are going to use right now to transform our presentation. And these are the websites that you can use for free. No registration required. Okay? Absolutely free. And so, I want to show you how and what are we going to work on. The slides that we redesigned and we're going to redesign are the following. So, I want you to imagine that this is a bit more wide, okay, and not like a square. This is his fault, but the slides look like this. Here is the first slide. And you probably noticed that image before a second, which was on Pexels. And I'm telling you that because I want you to be absolutely sure. Here is the image, right? I want you to see that I'm not going to use some resources that I only know. All of the resources that I'm going to use will be yours. It will be in your hands. So this is the image that I just used. Now, these are the slides. Whoop, it works. Working? No, it works. So these are the slides in their redesigned form. And I want to show you how are we coming up with those slides. How are we doing those slides? Okay? The first thing is that we obviously found the image. Cool. The second part of this thing is that I want you to always ask yourself, that's a hard one. I always want you to ask yourself, how can I simplify? Can I say what is on my slide? Can I share my message and what I'm about to say in a very simple way? What is the most simplistic way for me to move that message from me to the audience? And so all of that, the title here, presentation design, what is it, how it works, and more. And of course, because PowerPoint allows you to do subtitles, you of course go and do subtitles. Do we need to start caring about presentation design? All of that, in my opinion, can become something like presentation design. Should we care? Simplify, simplify, simplify. That's the key word for today. And below it, it's my name. Now, how are we coming up with this slide? If I go and create a new slide, the only thing that I do is just go and insert the image. I have downloaded the image already. I'll show it to you. Actually, I'll show it from here. Here are all the photos that we are going to be using. All of them, because I don't want you to think that I'm lying or something, take a look at the sites. Okay? They are all from Pexels. They are all from Pixabay. They're all from websites that you are going to have today. So, I'm adding this image. And now, we have a problem. When I add this image and move it, and I go and start to stretch it, take a look at what happens. First, I'm going to go out of the borders, right? But who cares? Let's go out of the border. Let me zoom out. Let me show you what's going to happen. If I do that, and I test my slide, I feel like this is a bit too low. I'm losing a bit of that information here for the pencils. And so I'll just drag up, and I'll make the slide look like this, okay? A bit better. Now, the title. The title, what I want, I'm not going to show you how you should add text box, okay? Please, don't ask me to do that, please. So, the title, there is something else in the title. Some of you may say, yeah, boy, but that font is not the font inside PowerPoint. So where can I get that font? Where can I get fonts that look great for my presentation? No problem. I will give you that resource too. The site is called, for all of you who are photographing, fontsquirrel.com. Okay? Write that down, you have it, otherwise, fontsquirrel.com. Free, take them, download as much as you can. I believe you have to be downloading your whole life, but it's up to you. So, Font Squirrel, absolutely free. The font that I'm using here is called Lotto. You see? Lotto. Now, if I download the font, let me show you how you should work with this stuff. If you haven't seen, you search it, you say Lotto, and here is Lotto. You click on it, and you download it. Once you download it, you have this thing. You get an archive. You extract this, and you get the fonts. And when you get to the fonts, these are the fonts, a TTF files or an OTF file. You'll see an OTF or a TTF. You mark them all, and you just right-click and go install. That's what you have to do. Then you reboot PowerPoint, and you're set to go. That's what you have to do. Just right-click, install, reboot PowerPoint, and then you're set to go. Whenever and whichever font you may want to use. I use Lotto. You may use something else. That's art. That's creative. Everyone has an opinion. Why are there so many Lotto fonts? Because this is called Lotto, it's called font family. You have Lotto Black, you have Bold, you have Hairline, you have Heavy, Light, and I combine them, as you see here, I combine them. This one is Lotto Black, you see? This one here is Lotto Light, but I don't go away from the Lotto family. I use the same font because I want to keep it consistent. It's really important. So this is the resource about the fonts. Now, we have another problem. Once I create that slide, and I go and say, okay, let me visualize my next idea. I have a problem. I need to make the slides look consistent. I need to make them look as they are part of one whole, right? How can I do that? Because I have a white slide right here, and I'm not able to do, it cannot get consistent. Let me share with you an idea. You grab the photo that you took, right, for a first one, let's say. You grab it, you copy paste it, and then you do something brutal. You crop it. So you go on the photo, you go to format, and you say crop, right here on the right. And you just remove the pencils, like this. And so you say, okay, now let me copy paste that and it will work. But if you copy paste it, not exactly. Not exactly. Even for a non-designer, that looks ugly. Let's be honest. However, what you can do is just simply drag. And this way, you will have the foundation for all of your other slides from now on. And this trick, if you want, you can do with almost every single high-quality image out there. That's why I'm telling you that you have to choose an image that has white space in it, not be really busy, right? So I have now the foundation for my slides from now on. Now it becomes a bit more easier. So now, what is this slide all about? Let me zoom it a bit. This is our favorite slide with the bullets. Let me remove this. This is the agenda slide. What's presentation design? Does it make sense? How do we do it? Again, how can I visualize that? And how can I simplify it? This is my interpretation. Presentation design from all angles. The what, the why, the how. And I use images which are, if you see carefully, they are like gradually growing with elements on them, like a progression. The what, the why, the how. And there are a bit more objects in every single image. I'm just showing that there is a progress this way. You can choose other photos from Pexels or Pixabay. This is just my interpretation. Yours will be different. Now, we have a lot of problems on this slide in order to create it. Let me show you what I mean. When I go and create a shape, this circle, even though it says it's, let me copy first the title. The title is again Lotto Black. I'll copy it. And then those circles are problematic. Let me show you why. Because when you create those circles, some of you may say, okay, let's imagine that this is a perfect circle, right? But it's not. It's not. In order for you to be sure that this is a perfect circle, you have to check its size. In order to check its size, in every single thing in the Microsoft world, you right-click first, and then you go to size and position. And what you will notice is that those two, height and width, are different numbers. So if you make them equal, the size of the shape will be the best, the one that you are looking for. So let's make this equal. Now click. And so this is how a circle should look like. Now, what else you can do is something, because you saw that there are 3 circles, stay with me. First, we need to import the image. How do I insert the image here? Just go on the format, say shape fill, and instead of placing color, I'll say picture. And then we have another problem, because when I choose the photo, take a look at how the photo looks like. It's kind of stretched, isn't it? So many people, when they see that, they start to search for another image, or start to figure out some other ways of figuring it out. And it's really simple. The problem is that Microsoft did it not that obvious for us to fix that problem. How can we fix it? Let me copy that and let me show you the difference. Once you click on that follow, on the circle, you go to the picture tools, because that's a picture. You go to format and you go to the crop, but you don't crop. Just select from here the button that's called fill. And once you do that, it suggests you, how should I crop it now? And this is the perfect thing that I want. And so I just click again crop and see the difference. See, it's a small difference, but it's a meaningful one. It looks like your image is not stretched. And so if I zoom out, take a look at the difference. And so you repeat that process for every single one of them. Now, a nifty trick, many people like that trick. In order to create a few repeatable objects, what can you do? You can Control-C, Control-V, right? Every single time. I can Control-C, move, Control-C, Control-V, move, right? That's one way. The problem is that I can do something else. Many people are completely shocked when they see this. It's when you are planning to do something like this, click Control-D first, which means duplicate. When you do that, nothing special happens, but take a look. I will move it, and I will say, yeah, that's the position. However, if you click now, Control-D again, watch what happens. So it tracks where the previous object was moved and how it was moved, and repeats it again for you. So you don't have to figure out, is it the correct proportions, is it right, or is it something like this? PowerPoint is a bit clever. Again, Microsoft are not trying to help us figure that out easily. So use Control-D for such situations. So this is the slide. This is how we come up with this slide. The third slide is, I don't think that I have to explain it to you, because it's a photo and a text box, right? Why am I placing this slide when I don't have it here? I don't have such slide here. Why am I doing it? Because this way, I'm marking the beginning of this section of the presentation. That's why. You may skip it. I love to place the beginning of every section with a big image, or with something, or with a big word, or with something, just to say, we are starting to talk about X. We're starting to talk about Z. We're starting to talk about something. And I mark it with a big slide. You may skip it, but that slide has nothing special in it. It's just an image and a text box. That's it. And the image is from Pexels. I can guarantee you that. Let me see which one is this. Let's see which one is this. These are Pexel links, okay? Here. So I downloaded it from Pexels, and you know about Pexels now. So, the next slide. Presentation design is. What is that? This is the following slide. What's presentation design? And I have pasted all of the information that I can think of and that I can come up with on the slide, right? The goal is not that. The goal is not to have your slides repeat you. The slides should be supporting you and adding to what you are saying. They should not be repeating you. So, how can I simplify that? I just say presentation design is, and I, as a speaker, will explain to you what presentation design is. The focus, guys, the focus is on you as speakers, not on your slides. The focus should be on you as the speaker. So, the interesting part here is that many people don't know about the Eyedropper feature in PowerPoint, and that's why I placed it here. So how can where is this green color coming from? It's coming from this image. If I paste the image here, I want it to look consistent across all slides, so I don't want to come up with different colors, because it will look kind of strange. On one slide I have green, on another slide I have yellow, on another slide I have pink. It doesn't work. How can I take one of those colors? You use the Eyedropper feature in PowerPoint. What is an Eyedropper feature? You mark what you want to color, and you go to the font, you go to the colors and go Eyedropper. This boy right here. What you do with it is the following. Once you click on it, take a look at what happens. You can take every single color from that image, thus guaranteeing that you are using consistent colors across all of your slides. So you take, let's say, this color. And here it is. Or I can take something else, just to show you that it works, because the change was not that dramatic. I can chase this one. You see? That's it. And I will remove it. Now say, okay. I know that this color showed up already in the previous slide. So this is all the logic behind that slide. Nothing special. I just want you to show, and I just want you to know about the eyedropper feature because you are going to be using it every single day. That's one of the key features in PowerPoint. Now, the fourth slide. How are we doing that? Which industry could what is that? Which industries could presentation design be applied? And I have named IT, financial, and education. I have a photo. How can I simplify that? How can I visualize it in the most simplistic way? I go and say, okay, it is applicable, and this is animated. It's applicable globally, worldwide, or whatever you may want to say it, where there are money involved. For example, now, these are not high-quality images, though. Where do you get those? Those are icons. Another pro tip for all of you guys. Free for use, go, record, snapshot, whatever you may want to call. You may want to do. The site is called Icon Finder. Okay, write that down. I'm giving you all of my secrets. Write that down, use that site. This is the site where you can get free, incredible icons for your presentations and for everything else that you do. Okay? Absolutely for free. So my icons are from there, and because I want you to see that, here are the links, Icon Finder, here is the link. These are my icons that I used. That's it, nothing hidden. Whenever you go on this website, please always make sure, and together with the images, please make sure that whenever the site allows you to download a bigger size of the image or the icon, you always choose the biggest size. Because as the bigger the size, the more quality the image is, and you want quality. You now buy, and I also buy products just because of their design, right? So we live in this era. Everything should be quality. No more clip art, please. No more square pictures. That's awful. Please. So you download them from here and you use them. How do you use them? This is a text box and I just inserted it. That's what I did. Simplifying and trying to visualize it. Simplifying. Key word in presentation design. Now, then you have another section slide, which is again the image and a text. Nothing special moving forward. This is marking the beginning of the why section. Why do we care? And then it gets interesting. A chart. And if you remember, this chart looked like this. So, let's talk about charts for a second. Give me the time. Can you give me the time? So 20 minutes? Perfect. So, let's see how should we design charts. Pro tips for you guys. First of all, first and most important, whenever you are going to have a chart on your slide, please, whenever you place a title on that chart, on that slide, please create the title in such a way that it summarizes what the people are seeing. Don't place, for example, I can say that I cannot write this, I will remove it, and I will say the percentages of, I don't know what, or I can say the pictorial effect. And I will ask you to look at this diagram or this chart, and you should try to figure out what you're seeing, what you're seeing. However, we as the presenters, we as the people who are more or less mentors of our audiences, we should do one step ahead for them. We should try to simplify it for them. So please, whenever you are placing a chart, the title should be the summary, what they are seeing. One step for them. We are helping them. We are trying to make them simple, easy for them to understand. That's the goal. So the title is what they are seeing. Then you have something else at the bottom before we talk about the visualization, source. Whenever you are talking about, and I'll give you real world examples, whenever you are pointing to data, and it's not your data, you always have to be sure that the source exists either on the slide or in the notes section if you're going to send, because I'll give you the real world example. Nowadays, you as the audience, you have an understanding when people lie to you. Let me tell you what I mean. I am at a conference in Bulgaria. It's a big conference for mobile technologies. The chief user experience designer of a company that's called MentorMate goes and presents some data. However, the data below on the bottom of the slide says source, multiple sources. And so it's not me, because I know that she's lying. It's not me, but another person from the audience stands up and asks, can you give me the resource and the source of this data, because I'm curious. Double check is it real? Where do you get this data from? And she replies, oh, it's from multiple data resources. At this point, her credibility disappears. No one listens and looks at that person at this moment in the same way as they did before. That's it. And you don't want that. You really don't want that. Once your credibility is destroyed, you are lost. So always place with small fonts, or place it in the note section. Always place a link or where you get this data from. Because there will be one person in the room that will ask. And he or she is able to ruin your reputation quickly. Quickly. Very, very quickly. Now, how can we do chart like this? Again, simplify, simplify, simplify. Let me show you how this works. So, let me save the mic this time. So if I do the following, and I will remove this, I will go and just copy that, right? Microsoft are the worst company whenever we talk about charts. They add so much crap to the slide, it's just insane, right? They just, take a look at how much stuff they add by default. It's just insanity. And so, how can we do this? We say no very often. For example, do we need that where is my mouse? Do we need that subtitle in the chart? The answer is no. So we remove it. Do we need that subtitle at the bottom? No. So we remove it. Every single time you ask yourself, is that thing, what you're seeing everywhere, this grid, those lines, are they adding value to the audience? If they don't, remove that. You're removing it. So I will remove this title, and then I will say this title at this part, I will remove it also because I don't care. It does not add value to my slide at the moment. And so then we have a general problem. This is a line chart. What are you using line charts for? What are you showing whenever you use line chart? What type of data you are showing? Be brave. I mean, come on. Series of data, a trend, a kind of a trend. Whenever you want to compare something, line chart is not your chart. Line chart is for showing trend. Whenever you want to compare something, you go with bar chart, for example. So let's change the design of this thing. Design, change the type, and I will go with a column, with the bar, and I will not use 3D stupid motherfucking. Anyway, we use the most simplistic form of the bar chart. This one, the first one. We'll say, okay. Then we have another problem. There is a second series of data here. I don't get it. So let me see the data. I'll say edit data. And we have 15 minutes, and that's perfect. We'll drag, see what we have here. When we only hear something, we retain 10%, and when we hear and see it, we retain 65%. That's based on the pictorial, very important research, the pictorial effect, the picture superiority effect. And this column, I don't need it, so I will remove it. Here, how can I simplify here? When we only hear, when we hear and see, how can I simplify that? I can say hear only. And here I can say here plus C, or here and C, I don't know. No matter, whichever you like more. Simplifying in every single step. Now, we are not getting there, but we're close. Now, let's remove a bit more, shall we? So, I will change the layout here first. There are a lot of layouts that you can use. Take a look. Various, I'll choose this one for this graph, and I will extend a bit. So, let's first remove that strange gradient, the black part. I don't get it. Why is it here at all? I'll click on it, I'll go to Format, and I'll go Shape Fill, please no fill. I don't need that stuff. Italic value? No, remove it. Then I will say, okay, what are those lines in the middle? Do I need them? No. So, I go on the plus sign and say grid lines, bye-bye. Then I'll say, why is this legend here? Do I need a legend in this case? Not exactly. So, sorry guys, removing. And then you have the percentages because we are going to add them here inside the chart, inside the bars. So those percentages are going to repeat that. So, sorry guys. And then we will add, let's add the numbers because the numbers are important. From data labels, I'll say, I want them inside end, at the end of the bar. And here you can see that we again have some border. Take a look. There is a border of some, I don't know why Microsoft is adding this, but let's remove that one too. It doesn't make sense. Shape outline, no outline, please. So, because we talk about consistency, our fonts and the color of the fonts should be the same as in the previous slide, right? So let's make them like this. So I'll click here, I'll say this is Lotto. I'll make it white because you have to see it. And I will bump it up a bit. And I will do the same with this one. White, Lotto, come on, Lotto, and I will bump it up, okay? For example, and so, there is a, by the way, take a look at there is a shadow, can you see it? Why do you need that? I'm just fascinated by Microsoft sometimes. And so, let's remove that too. So I'll go to Shape Effects, to press it, and I'll say to Shadow, please no shadow. And so on and so forth. I can switch the, because here it's the opposite, right? I can switch the places of the charts, and I can color them, and I have colored them here. I will not show you how to color them. I have colored them because I'm making this gray, because I don't want you to focus on it. I want to make an accent, to show you something in a bright color, so that your eyes go immediately on it. And so that's why I use that same green color that I used in the previous slide where it said presentation design is. This is the same green, the same green. And so you saw how from this thing, we got to this thing, right? And there is a difference. Trust me, there is a difference. Now, going down, because I have one more really crucial technique to show you. The plus is because we have, does it make sense? And then I say something else, what's more, and that what's more at the title, I switch it to a plus. Just my view. You can skip it, but that's just my view. And then take a look at the bullet points. All of those bullet points become single slide. Now, we have a very interesting drama here. Let me show you why. It looks easy to make that, but if I show you something, if I show you the image that we use to transform the bullet slide, every bullet to be separate slide, take a look. This is my image, and I'll move it a bit higher. Let's see if it looks okay. Yeah, even a bit more. All right. So if I place, and now I want you to be really careful on this one, because this can change everything that you do with presentations. If I place the title here, you cannot see it, right? And you will say, that image was perfect, but I'm not able to use it. This is an advanced trick, now that what you're about to see, okay? But this trick will allow you to save almost and use almost every image that you find for your presentation. And thus transform bullet points into, for example, one slide per bullet. So let me show you something that's kind of strange. So let's move the title here. One last thing for you. I'm going to add a shape. Okay? My goal is to darken that part, but make it so that it doesn't look that I changed the photo. So how can I do it? So if I add a shape and I would draw this form, let me go just remove it. I want to zoom out a bit. Let me crop the image because I want to clearly see where the end of the slide is, and we have 7 more minutes. So that's perfect. So let me add the shape and take a look at what happens. I'll add the shape. I'll add it to this part because I want to darken that part, especially the window part. So this doesn't work, obviously. Now, what we need to do is something else. What we need to do is to do a shape fill, which is a gradient. And now look at how we do that and why we do that. Format the shape, fill, and I say gradient. However, let me move that. We need the gradient to go from black, from here, and go to transparent in this part. So, and I'll give you an example with another slide to see how it works in another presentation. So, let me show you how it works. At the one end, I have to place black. So I'll change the color to black. However, it places it on the other side of where I need it, so I have to flip it. The black should go up at the upper part. So I say direction, flip it here, right? Okay. Now, I need to somehow do all of those also to go from black to kind of gray to white, which is going transparent. Let me show you, and you can experiment with this a lot at home, at everything. Let me show you what's going to happen now. So I will say this needs also to be black, and I need to do this in kind of gray. Let's say this gray. And then this will be white. Now is the moment in which we are going to do that in a transparent way, because we want to see the image. We want to see the image. So I'll go to the right side and I'll play with this thing right here. You see? The transparency. So what I'm going to do is I'll place this to, let's say, let's start with 15% here. Then on this one, I'll say, let me be 45%. And let this be, let's say 75. Gradually making it transparent. And this one, let's remove it. This one should be 100. It has to be completely transparent, right? So what happened, if I move now the title and I place it, because now it's behind that layer that we just created, if I go to arrange and say, bring to the front, take a look at what happens. So now, wait, there is a border, of course. Of course, there is a border. Microsoft style. No outline. I want for this, no border. Format, text outline, no outline. Which one is this? Let me remove the border of this crap. Oh, shape outline. Psst, guys, let's be serious here. So, take a look. Can you see it now? Can you see it now? And so you come from you come from this place, you come from this place, and take a look at there is no change in the photo itself to this place. You see, it's a slight difference, but it makes so much difference. And because you think, okay, but that's one case, let me show you the same technique applied on the other side of the slide in another presentation that I did recently for a company in Bulgaria. Let me just show you, and we have 5 more minutes, so it's perfect. I want to go to IT camp. Take a look. You see that? You see it? Take a look at if I remove it. It's the same technique. This is before. Look. See how slight the difference is? But it saves you. It saves the day, as they like to say. So use that, of course, obviously the direction of the gradient now is from right to left, right? Not from top to the bottom, from right to left, but it's the same technique. And you can save all of your photos this way. It's just incredible stuff. Anyway, so then I need to do that photo to be black and white because everything is gray. And so I go to the picture, I say color, and I say gray. There is a filter inside the PowerPoint, and then I have the same technique, improve clarity. Why I say improve, why there are people, because my idea when we talk about improved clarity are people who are talking. You may figure out something else like a visualization. Then I have better results. I associate better results with money, with credit card, with cash, so I get the photo that I have. And so this is the 3D chart, by the way. Let me show you. It's kind of strange. This is the 3D chart. But if you think about it, I'm sure that you have seen that sometimes people use slides and people use charts, and they actually don't need them. If you think about what they are trying to say, they actually don't need a chart to say what they're about to say. And so this chart is completely useless, because what I want to say is that 1% of our competition is actually paying attention to presentation design. So if we do it, we'll innovate. That's my idea. And so that's, again, a full-blown photo. And this is the SmartArt transformed. Not with lines, but with photo and text. This is the SmartArt. And one last, every single time, this is a quick one, so I'll show you, and I will give you the summary. Take a look at this one. It's an interesting one. This is the last tip for you. If I add this photo, take a look at what happens. If I add it, it's a perfect photo. However, if I stretch it to the end, I'm losing half of her face. It doesn't work with this. So I need to kind of do it to here. And then because the photo is just one color, I can do so many things. I can just color the other part of the slide with black to look like it's the same photo. Or I can be a bit more brutal because I'm from Bulgaria, and then I can just cut her face. Like this. And I can just take the black part and put it here. And I don't even have to resize, you see? It's exactly the same. In this case, you see, there is no, you cannot guess that this is the other way. And so my last tip for you is always when you do that, always, whenever you have eyes on the slide, no matter if it's animal, person, someone else, place the text where the eyes are going. Don't place the text here. Oh, sorry. Don't place the text here, right? Place the text where the eyes are going. This way you are directing the attention of the person. Just use that as a simple advice. Now, the last slide is a copy of my first one. Here is where I do the summary. I will tell you what we talked about. And then I say, thank you.